when I was doing all my studies in the soul before writing all these books, I noticed that in history, most people who have studied the soul have offered friendship as the most soulful thing in the human life. Having a friend and being with your friends is really the basic activity of soulful life. So when I said to be a friend of your phone or your computer, I meant that. I was thinking that this is, I mean, I really mean that, to have a friendship relationship instead of a
obsession.
Yeah. Instead of being in love, having a friend. That's a good way to look at it. You know, usually you're not compelled to be with your friends. I don't think so.
It's something you like, but you don't necessarily need.
Yeah, that's right. And you don't go crazy about being with your friends the way you might with someone you're in love with. A friend is different. And in fact, some people say, and I think it makes a lot of sense, that when you fall in love with someone, that eventually your relationship can develop, and if it becomes a relationship of friendship, that's really a good thing. Or at least that it has that element of friendship in it. So I would say the same thing would apply to technology. It can be our friend, but it certainly shouldn't be our master. And I don't think it should be our lover either. That's going too far.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Okay. So technology in medicine, is medicine becoming too reliant on technology, family doctors carrying computers, and doctors don't make house calls anymore, you know? So, I mean, I haven't seen a house call or even heard of it in recent history.
I talked to a doctor just last week who is retiring. And she told me an interesting, tiny little story about her retirement. She said that she was asked to stay on at the practice she was working at. She had been there for many, many years. And she was asked to stay on to be able to help out when they needed someone to come in and, you know, when they had a problem of staffing. And she said no. She said she couldn't do that because the whole purpose of being a doctor to her was getting to know her patients and having a relationship with them. And I think that's very close to house calls. You know, in the old days, doctors would come to your home. I mean, I remember that, coming to my house. Yeah, I might just have a cold or a sore throat, and the doctor would come with his little black bag and check me out and maybe give me something to take and then leave. The doctors can't do that anymore, they say. I don't know why they can't, but they say they can. And so that's a real loss of soul,